Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. My name is Tony. This is the 15-minute gaming channel, and today, as you can tell with all the fireworks and the writing across the screen, the channel has passed 1 million views. Yes, 1 million views on the channel. I can't quite believe it. It is the 28th of March 2021. This channel started all the way back in 2013. There was a bit of a break in the middle, and I hit 500,000 views in the back end of 2018. So you can see where the break kind of happened in between there. And I just can't believe it's finally up to 1 million views. So what I thought would be fun today is to check out the first ever video I did back in the day in 2013. It is cringe, like totally and utterly cringe. I hate listening to my voice on it. Like, I was so nervous. I didn't really know what I was doing, obviously. There was no editing, nothing like that. I think I used Fraps, maybe, or something like that back in the... Oh, no. Tell you what, Screencast-O-Matic. I don't know if that's still going, actually. But yeah, Screencast-O-Matic. It was based on Prison Architect. It was like the first game I was ever like, right, I just want to really record this. Prison Architect back then, it just came out brand new. It was, you could buy on the website. It was like $20, $30 or something like that. And I backed it from the very, very start. So I thought it'd be cool would be go back to that video, give it a bit of a watch, not a critique. No. We're just gonna, you can listen to me voice and go, oh my God. I can't remember what microphone I had then, but I can't imagine it being a very good one back then. I don't think I did any editing. I used, I would guess, Windows Media Movie Studio thing. You remember the free program you used to get? Pretty sure I would have used that back then. So yeah, I just thought it'd be cool just to chat about the channel, things I've enjoyed, things I've not liked, some of the low points, some of the high points, and put Prison Architect back on, and we'll jump back in, maybe build a little bit of a prison. For those who don't know what it is, could be a good way to check it out. Now, I thought that'd be quite fun. So, I can't believe I'm going to show this video. Right. Use all go. Yeah. Right. Are you ready, guys? I'm going to not talk for a minute. Well, past Tony technically is, but this Tony isn't. I was just about to press play there, but no. Yeah, so I'm going to for a minute and turn this up so you can hear it.
Hi, and welcome to the first video on this new channel, which is a 15-minute gamer. I'm going to take you through some games that I played. Hello. We're going to go through obviously 15 minutes worth, and I'm going to show you the basics of it, and then you can make a choice if you like it. The first game we're going to go on is a game by Introvision Software, which is called Prison Architect. Currently this is an alpha build at the moment, so it's quite new in its development. And if you go to the website as shown here, using WASD, W-A-S-D, that's how you get zoom in now using the mouse wheel. As you can see, quite a big map we've got here. And the first thing you'll always
look how basic Prison Architect was back then, though.
So as you can see here, 8 workmen arriving on a truck. They'll get down to this area. You can see we've got a few jail doors, which is obviously for cells, which we'll get later on.
Wasn't that bad, was it? Just I wasn't very confident back then.
Put that on, press R, it flips it, so you there. And the yard,
built way too big.
As I call 15-minute gamer, and 112 minutes. We need to.
How did I end the video?
And overall, it's an alpha. Give the developers some money.
Turn up a little bit.
They'll enjoy it. I really hope what you'd like to see. If you want to see more, subscribe to my channel, and I'll put some more videos up. As you can see here, though, just one last feature: the guards have to unlock the doors. Make sure you have enough guards.
Just about to wrap the video up. Usual me getting distracted by something else.
Any bit for you, and I hope.
Oh, that ended really abruptly, didn't it? Jesus. I just kind of cut the video off at the end there. We'll get rid of that countdown timer. Right. Yeah, so how nervous did I sound on that video, by the way? So yeah, 2013 is when the channel started. The whole idea was from Jamie Oliver. Remember Jamie Oliver? And he'd done the 15-minute cookbook, where basically he kind of like 15-minute recipes. And that was the whole point of the channel at the beginning, was the videos were going to be 15 minutes, quick, informative, Like, it was either going to be 15 minutes of Let's Plays, 15 minutes of just a single video, first 15 minutes of a game. So it was all going to be around about 50 minutes. I then realized that sticking to that wasn't showing much of the game off. It would require a lot of editing, which I didn't kind of have at the time. So yeah, there was a lot of things there, which is why it changed, but I just quite like the name 15 Minute Gamer. The channel's went through quite a few changes since then, like loads of changes since then. I mean, I've went into editing more videos, especially over the last 3 or 4 months. Like, Let's Plays have gone. I'm not doing individual gameplay anymore. I'm not doing Let's Plays. I'm doing a lot more kind of informative videos, guides, really narrowing it down to what I like and what I enjoy doing. And yeah, so 2013, long time ago. And I'm not going to lie to you, I expected probably more from the channel in that time. Like, I'm on, just over 2,600 subscribers. I probably would have expected around about the 4,000 to 5,000. But during the middle time there, I was working away 5 days a week. 4 nights a week, obviously, I was away from home. Come home on the weekend. I just had other things to do. I couldn't really put out the quality of content. I couldn't spend the time editing videos together and that sort of thing. So for me, there was a big gap in the middle of maybe 2 or 3, 4 years where I just couldn't put that effort into the channel anymore. And there was a couple of times I just thought about dropping it all together. But then kind of last summer, you know, when furlough happened and all this COVID hit, I kind of took a bit more of a step back in approach and really look at what the channel was doing, what sort of videos people liked, what people were coming to the channel for, rather than just doing random gameplay videos of anything, because that was half the problem. Was I was covering games that were very niche, that were maybe only going to get 10, 20 people playing them, and then wondering why only 2 people watched the videos, which was kind of obvious. There's not going to be loads of people watching videos if it's a bunch of games that nobody really is going to go out and play. And I was kind of just shoot myself in the foot to go, right, okay, well, why is that happening? Or what's sort of going on? Or, you know, that sort of thing. So, do I want to play a campaign or should we go freestyle? Go medium. There's a lot of different options. It's been a while since I played this game. Let's just play, because I'm not putting a serious thing into here. So yeah, so that's kind of what happened back in the summer when we were talking about all the COVID, all the furlough. I started doing way more Star Citizen content, a bit of Escape from Tarkov content, really putting out like guides, seeing what people liked. And since then, the channel's really grown. Like, the past year, I think the channel's been growing the biggest it's ever grown. I've made the most amount of views, the most amount of hours watched, the most amount of subscribers. It's really where the channel is going now. So for me, I'm quite excited for the new kind of start for the channel. And it's changing still. Like, I was still doing Let's Plays up until about 3 or 4 months ago, and I decided, no, they're getting dropped. The only Let's Plays you might see on the channel now are very specific games or iRacing. You can see that up there. Yeah, that's new. That's all new. And yeah, stuff like that. So the channel started off, as I remember, all right. Like, I can't remember it being amazing, but as I remember, I think that it started off pretty well. I then came up with the idea of a website. So you may have seen it, you may have heard about it. It was a decent size at one point, called Gamerspective. And what Gamerspective was kind of like a bunch of us who kind of... guy called Stu, who runs a thing called Fun Culture now. There was a lass called Amy who started it up with me. And we're kind of like all friends, and we created the Gamerspective. My channel kind of took a bit of a hit at that point because I was just doing other things. Brought some other people on board, kind of moved into a site called Geekspective, which was going to kind of be a massive big increase. So it wasn't just going to be games, it was going to be TV, it was going to be films, it was going to be lots of different things. But unfortunately, because I was working away, I was finding it very hard to kind of control the content that was going up and control the people who were kind of helping out with it. And I was finding it really difficult to do just with being away 5 days a week. I didn't know if I was going to have stable Wi-Fi, if I was going to have internet, if my laptop was going to connect. Was I in a nice hotel room with a chair and bed? Like, it's obviously a bed, but, you know, a chair, desk, I sit down. And unfortunately, from Gamerspective, that was getting around about 20 to 30,000 hits a week, to then Geekspective, where I couldn't quite put the effort in, the time in, and really just the views were just dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. And then I think it maybe lasted about a year, and then kind of moved back into doing the whole YouTube stuff when I could on weekends. And that was kind of a low point for me, as in I wasn't quite sure what to do at that point. Like, should I just drop the channel? Should I keep the channel going? Half and half at that point. Like, do I really want to keep it going or not? And with working away, obviously that kind of took its toll. Stopped working away about a year and a half ago, as much anyway, but I was still driving like 4,000 or 5,000 miles a month. So once I was driven 4,000 or 5,000 miles a month, trying to come home and do all that was a bit of an issue, which is why once it came to about a year ago under furlough, I kind of changed how the channel was always going to do, how I was going to just kind of learn how to video edit better, how to do thumbnails, and my thumbnails changed as well. So I tried adding like banners and put the 50-minute logo down the side of it, trying to put different fonts in, different sizes in, swooshing effects. None of them kind of worked. I wasn't hugely happy. There was one where it was like a blue banner along the bottom. That was a little bit better, but the past couple of months I decided to drop that as well. I then moved from, believe it or not, I used Windows Movie Maker until about a year and a half ago, when they suddenly stopped supporting it. And I was like, what the hell am I going to do? Now I don't know how to actually do anything. So I was like, I really don't know what I can do here. Like, I'm going to have to learn something new. So I up and learned how to do... I use a thing called Shotcut now. So Shotcut's kind of like an open source thing. And it's really good, Shotcut. I think it's such a useful tool, and I would really recommend it if you are learning how to do video edits. It's pretty straightforward. It's not particularly difficult. Kind of like, you know, like OBS is open source. It's kind of the same sort of thing. And talking about open source things, yeah, I started with Screencast-O-Matic. And in fact, when I go into my channel to sit there, and sometimes when I go to the tags, it actually comes up with Screencast-O-Matic as a tag all the time still, after, because it is 2013. And then I moved on to a program called Fraps, which I'm sure lots of you have heard of. Then I moved on to a program called Action, Marillus Action. You can get it on Steam. It's pretty good. Now I use OBS just because Marillus didn't really work for me, as I was saying. So yeah, then I moved on to OBS because it just fitted my needs a lot more. Action is really good, but it fails quite often. And Screencast-O-Matic was just a classic back in the days. I loved that thing. You could like have like swirly things go on your mouse pointer and stuff like that. And the channel now is again steadily climbing, and I've decided to focus a lot more on things that I enjoy, which I know sounds a little bit silly. And now the channel's definitely moving towards that more guide process. I'm definitely working on sort of subscribing to the channel, yeah, hit that notification bell, like the video, share the video, which I was kind of never doing before. Definitely editing those videos down to do guides and add all the video sources in. And I think he might be stuck. If you're thinking about doing your own channel, it is something I often think about. Like the person who kind of got me into YouTube and really got me thinking about, do I want to be on YouTube and how I'm going to approach it, was NerdCube, Dan Hardcastle. He's kind of like was my first ever hero of YouTube, like such a great YouTuber. And strange enough, he's went the other way now, where he's kind of just went over to Twitch and doesn't really do any videos. So he kind of got me into that thing. And I remember the first ever couple of weeks of setting up the YouTube channel, I actually sent him an email and just said, hey Dan, I'm looking to get into YouTube. Any advice, guidance, what would you recommend? He never got back to me. So yeah, would I recommend anyone get involved with YouTube? Probably not now as such. I think unless if you've really got that thing that's going to make you different. And when I say that, I mean, you've really got to think of something that sets you apart from everyone else. And if you look at a lot of the videos now that people are doing and kids are watching, they're all very, I'm not going to say fake as such. Fake's probably the wrong word, but you'll see very clickbaity titles and it'll be like, oh my god, look at Minecraft, look what I can do, I've got this in the speedrun record for hitting the horse or something like that, and the thumbnail's them going, ah, like that or something as they hit a horse or something. You know, that's kind of where YouTube is. If that's your scene, that's fine. Not my sort of thing. And it's why I know kind of now I'll probably never be a big YouTuber, because I don't dedicate all my life to one thing, that one game to become good at. And it's what I kind of realized this last year with gaming as well. What I was doing was playing a million different games. Every single week I was trying a new game, a new tactic, learning something new. And then moving on to the next thing, like I looked through my Steam list from 2019 and I had something like, in 2019 I had bought something like 100 games. We'll round it into a nice little figure. I think 70 I had not played for more than an hour. 70 games for not more than an hour. Now, if we take into mind some of them games would have been free, most of them would have cost between, what, £10-20 each. Maths. A lot of money wasted just for like between 15 minutes and an hour of gameplay. I think 5 were between an hour and 2 to 3 hours, and maybe 10 were above 10 hours plus. Like, that's the level of like not getting good at games was happening, because I wasn't really settling down to actually play any decent games. So yeah, I kind of wasn't sitting down to get good at anything. And once I started playing Star Citizen again, I was like, people like the Star Citizen content. I'm learning about it. I'm getting involved with the community. So that really was a bit of an eye-opener, that maybe just playing loads and loads and loads of games for 15 minutes just isn't me. My channel's not big enough, and I don't think it would get big enough to be able to match those people like, say, Splattercat, who's one I watch quite often, or Call Me Kevin. Great example there, the guy who plays like different games every single day almost. Splattercat definitely is. Nuclearium, N-O-O-K-I-RUM, he's really good. I really like him. They hit that mark at a good time. And also they do, especially Nuke does lots of like RimWorld and Dwarf Fortress type videos. And that's his kind of genre, what he loves. He loves these roguelikes and these city builders and stuff like that, you know? So yeah, I never felt like I was getting good at anything. I was just like okay at everything. And because I was always trying to have another video up, another type of game, another niche game that nobody was playing up on the channel, I wasn't just also spending a lot of money on these niche games. I was then not playing games that I liked or getting good at games that I liked. Like, to get good at a lot of the games I kind of play, like DCS, Sim Racing, Elite Dangerous, Star Citizen, you can't just put in an hour a week and that's it. Like, you've really got to dedicate a lot of time to these things. And a lot of the bigger YouTube channels outside of clickbait and acting like children are very much niche into, they know what they like, and that's why people go to that channel. So what I'm kind of saying in a roundabout way is just that I've moved a lot more to simulation and tactical shooter type games, which is what I really enjoy. And if I really enjoy something, I can get more involved in it. So I've just dropped everything else from the channel, which is a bit of a shame because there is some other genres I do kind of like. But yeah, I'm just concentrating more on them. Star Citizens, iRacing, Assetto Corsa. I'll be really heavily involved over the next few months, looking at mods, doing mod showcases, guides. I've got loads more time now. I work from home all the time. And there we go. I've just realised I built them a little bit too small. Never mind. This wasn't a serious game. This was just more in the bit of background while I was just sort of chatting away. So yeah, if I was going to restart everything again now, I'd probably get into streaming a lot more. Probably be heading over to Twitch. It's where the kind of money is these days. I would say it's not as regulated. It's not as controlled. But I'm just not that consistent. The sort of videos I do now, they need to be edited, they need to be controlled. I did try Twitch a few times, but no one really came to watch, and it's a little bit soul destroying. You really got to keep at it, and you know, anyone who does it day in, day out, it's really really impressive of them, to be fair. So yeah, it's kind of all, that's kind of 15-minute gamer in a nutshell. That's kind of where it all started from, the thoughts behind it, why the channel's changed, the excitement, some of the low points there, some of the high points to talk about. Or done a couple of videos that have had like 150,000 views. People really love the GTA ones. People really, really like guides, and that's why it's changed a lot more to guides. I learn how to do something, how to mod, how to change game files, and then I'll show it off to people in hopefully a more informative, quicker way, because I find people don't do it quite as quick as they should. None of the videos are 15 minutes. And anyways, I hope you enjoyed this totally random, rambling 1 millionth view video that kind of didn't achieve anything. Built a terrible prison. But yeah, that's been Prison Architect, first ever game I played, and I will catch you on the next one. Next video like this will probably be 1.5 million, so I'll see you in a few years time. But anyway, hope you enjoy it, and I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye.